What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the DC Direct page punchers for Injustice 2. So we have 4 figures here today. Again, like all the others, we have the figures that look just like the other McFarlane figures, but they come with comic books in the back. So we have an Injustice 2 comic here, so that'll be really cool. And of course, we have characters all designed from Injustice 2, which is the video game, but they also made comics about and stuff. So that's kind of what these are more based off. But first up here, we've got Batman and Green Arrow. So both of those look cool, cool characters there. And behind them, we have Supergirl and Dr. Fate. So both of those look really cool as well. Again, in their costumes as they appear in the Injustice 2 video game. So these will all be really cool and each, come with their own accessories and stuff. So hopefully all these figures are going to be cool to look at and stuff. So let me get them out of the packaging and we'll take a look at them together. So let's start off with Batman again in his Injustice 2 design, and he wears a durable reinforced bat suit with Kevlar inlays and carbon nanotube fibers that make him resistant to physical attacks. So that's why we got his suit all armored out here, especially in like the game when he's fighting, like Superman and other superpowered characters, and with Bruce Wayne not having powers, he has to, be able to counteract, so he wears the suit that helps kind of defend against that, and overall it looks cool. It's like a modernist type thing because it's got like the bat logo, but you can see it's all nice like flat design, so there's not like got the little like wing pieces and stuff, so they kind of just fit flat along there. And then it's a nice like sort of like smooth suit overall with the gray with the black underneath and stuff. So it's kind of boring just because of like the gray color. It's just kind of like a dull gray and then the black underneath and stuff, but there are some textures and stuff running through it that kind of add more details and everything. But first we have his cowl and cape, and there's his face, and of course no famous real person, so we don't have to worry about that. It's weird that his nose is kind of showing out from under there, but then the still has the black around the eyes, and then his cowl up top there going into the black cape hanging down, so that has the tatters and stuff. But again, you can see that texture and nice smooth along the edges and stuff, so nice smooth cut there and stuff, so that looks really nice. And then we have the all gray armor, as I said, so he's got some shoulder pads and armor going down. He still has the gauntlets with the spikes on the side of it going into his fist, and then we have black in the center and more gray and stuff covering there till we get to his utility belt, which has a nice gold all the way around it there to the back. Then we transition to the pants, which has the same sort of design as the cape, which is cool, so that goes down the pants again with the gray armor over the top, knee pads all the way down to the boots, where he's got these boot designs, which I kind of like. They look kind of stylish and stuff, but overall with the gray at the bottom and black up top there. So overall pretty decent, but like I said, it's not like the most aesthetic Batman. Like, it's not something I would really care for out of all the Batmans, but it's cool that we got the game design. But we can do his movement, so his head can twist all the way around. You can look down that far and up that far, so not the best movements, but not horrible. Shoulders can come up to 90, and it has the butterfly joint there and can rotate around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that bends up pretty much that far, so almost all the way up on itself, with the wrist that can twist around, and this has more of the blended joints, and it can flex there at the joint back and forth. And then we get the ab crunch, so we have the ab crunch right in the chest, so crunch back and forth and twist all the way around. And then we should have a lower crunch at the waist, so crunch back and forth and can twist around there as well. And then we get the hips that can come up to 90 and out to the side. He can do the splits, very little thigh twist, just a little back and forth, but a double knee joint that bends up that far to the back. And then we get the foot that flexes back and forth and can twist side to side with the toe joint on the end. So movements aren't bad, and it's pretty standard for what the McFarlane, so we'll probably see similar joints all throughout this, but overall he's pretty decent. Like I said, nothing's too bad. There's not many limitations with the suit design and everything, and all the joints flex pretty well, so overall not horrible for it. And for accessories, we get 2 batarangs, so we have 2 batarangs and pretty nice designs. Again, looks more modernist with the style and flat design stuff, but overall look pretty cool, has nice design into it and everything, just all in this gray color that we can try and put into his hand. So there I got the batarang in his hand, and he only has a left hand with a grip hand, the other one's just a fist, so you have to put it in that hand. So there we have Batman with the batarang, and as usual with all the McFarlanes, they come with a stand, so we have that if we need it. And then we have the card with the cover from that comic, so it has our 4 characters today there in the Injustice design. So we have Batman there. Of course, Bruce Wayne says even after he's been exposed as the world's Batman, Bruce Wayne keeps his vow to avenge his parents' death by fighting for justice. He refuses to execute his enemies, believing that once he crosses that line, he's no better than the cowards he battles. So a little bit of explanation there, kind of generic stuff for Batman and stuff, but it shows what he stands for, especially in the game. But it's cool to have Batman, like, not the best Batman design ever, but it's still pretty decent. And next up we have Green Arrow in his Injustice 2 design, where he wears an armored outfit with a domino mask and uses a bow with standard and trick arrows, so kind of the usual for Green Arrow. And he looks pretty cool here overall. So we've pretty much had this figure before, and I'll show you that comparison. It is pretty much the exact same figure, just with a minor change that he's got the like Robin Hood hat or whatever there. So I love having the little hat on him. It's always a part of his classic look and stuff. So the little hat there, and I love how it's got the arrow sticking out of it and stuff on both sides. So that is really cool. I love the little hat design. But then we have the domino mask that it says, so the mask that just covers his eyes, and you can see his eyes there. It almost looks like he's looking up or something, so kind of weird there. And then has this little mustache and goatee and stuff with the blonde, so that looks really cool for Green Arrow, and much like the classic Robin Hood design stuff, but fits for Green Arrow as well. And then he has the armored outfit again, with not having many powers and stuff, just being good at shooting arrows. He has the armor up as well, so big armor on the sides, armor on his chest and midsection. I love the whole arrowhead design there with the Green Arrow logo that looks like an arrow as well, so that's cool. Some guards on his wrist that have some gold into it going into the gloves, which looks nice. Another little Green Arrow logo there on his belt. Then he's got black textured pants going down, which you get a nice texture there, going all the way down to the green boots that go up pretty high. So just looks like your almost standard Green Arrow, just with modern effects to it and stuff, like with the armor and everything thrown in. But it kind of sings, like I said, that we've already had this before, and like I said, I'll show you that in a second. But let's do the movement. So his head can twist all the way around, can look down that far and up that far. So again, not horrible there. Shoulders up 90 with the butterfly joint and rotate around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that bends all the way up on itself again, with the wrist that can twist around, which is going to be hard because it's guard piece, but it can twist around and flex wherever the joint is, so it feels like up and down here. Then we go to the ab crunch, so it's got to be something up in here. Of course, it's all covered by this solid piece up top, so it's got some flexibility, can flex back and forth and twist around pretty much just at the waist there, so not sure what's all going on up there, and it's hard to see or tell. Then we get the hips that come up to 90 and out to the side again, can do the splits. Pretty much no thigh twist for him, and a double knee joint that bends up that far. He can kick his butt. And then we get the foot that flexes back and forth and can twist side to side. It's pretty stiff, but can twist there with the toe joint on the end. So yeah, as I said, it's going to be pretty much similar, so all the same joint designs. But for Green Arrow, of course, we have to have his classic accessory. So first we get a quiver to hold his arrows, so this all green quiver here that we can pop into the peg here in his back, so it just pops in there. And then we get the arrows that go in as well, so we just have a bundle of arrows. We had this with the last one as well, so with this we can just stick down in here, so we have the arrows sitting off to the side there. And finally, of course, he's got his bow, so again, an all green color bow there, so not the most aesthetic thing, but we can put this into his hand. So there we can have Green Arrow all posed up with his bow and everything. So we just need an arrow to go into his hand, but unfortunately the arrows are just a solid bundle, so you can't really pull one out or anything, but I think he looks pretty cool there. And then of course other accessories, we get the base plate for him, and then we have his card as well that has the picture of the comic once again, and on the back, of course, real name Oliver Queen. It says it's been a hard travel road for the Emerald Archer, as the Earth's Oliver Queen gave his life in fighting against the regime. Now, as an alternative Earth, Ollie steps in to honor his sacrifice. He will join his wife Black Canary in Batman's crusade to set things right. So this is an alternate worlds version of Green Arrow, which is kind of cool. And with that, we do have this version of Green Arrow, as I said. So pretty much the exact same figure, just without the hat is the only difference. So exact same figure, just without the hat. So I think I like the one with the hat a little bit more, but with it being the story, we could have this, being from the first Injustice game that died, and this being the alternate universe one. So it's cool we could have the two different versions there, but everything about it looks pretty much the same. Looks like this one, has the straps on his legs and stuff, where this one doesn't. So I do like having the straps, and then the more green colors there on the boots, where this one is just all solid. So there is a little bit of changes. It looks like the green colors may have changed and stuff, but I definitely like the one with the hat. But you could always take this one and just put it on this buddy if you liked it a little bit more, because it wouldn't really be too much different. But do really like having the Green Arrow. I like the design. Like I said, with the hat, it just adds a little more to it. And then we have our only female of the wave, which is Supergirl, which has very similar powers to her cousin Superman. So she has superhuman strength, speed, the ability to fly, can breathe the hurricane force winds, and shoot eye beams. And once again, we have her in her Injustice 2 design, which looks pretty cool. Just looks like Superman design, so pretty much all blue spandex. And I like the different blue shades, so darker blue with lighter blue in the center. Has the S on her chest, of course, the symbol for hope, and then has like the shoulder pads and stuff, and the cape in the back again with the S there with the cape, red cape, so that's pretty cool. I love the red gloves going up her arms, and the blue continue down with some gold there on her thighs, and the red boots there on her feet, which look a little bit weird with the design and stuff, but I like how they go up a little bit, up her legs there, and again, all texture, so smooth on the outside, textured on the inside there, so pretty cool design. And then we have her head, which face-wise doesn't look too good. It just looks real basic and just a little bit too flat and stuff, not really sure. And then the big poofy hair, where she has the shorter hair design, so it's guys, what you say, like the Karen haircut, but with the texture where it's probably black with some blonde color paint there over the top of it, but doesn't look absolutely horrible. Just like I said, looks very cartoonish or fake, Barbie-ish or something to me. So not the best there, but let's do the movement. So the head can twist all the way around. It can look down that far and up that far, so pretty decent. Shoulders up just under 90 because there's shoulder pads, but it has the butterfly joint to go back and forth there and can rotate around within there. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joints, which are real thin, so hopefully no issues with these. Can bend all the way up on itself, and the wrist can twist around and flex on the joint. And then we go to the ab crunch, so right under her chest, so crunch back and forth and twist around a little. It's pretty stiff, so you can't really twist all the way around, and then crunch at the waist and twist all the way around there. Then we get the hips that come up over 90. Oh, she can kick up really high and out to the side, but of course it kind of popped out the underwear piece there, so that kind of stinks. But yeah, hips can go out to the side as well. And there's no thigh twist, but the double knee joint can bend up that far to the back, so she can't kick her own butt, but not far from it. And the foot can flex back and forth, which is weird that this has like a normal like hinge foot instead of the ball joint, so that's pretty weird, but can flex back and forth and can twist side to side with the toe joint on the end. So it's weird it's got the hinge joint in the foot. I don't know if that's going to be something new or just for this figure or what's going on with that, because we've not really had that except for on like the Build-A-Figures and stuff, so it's kind of weird that she's got it. But overall she works out fine. Doesn't have the best movements ever, but not horrible. And then for accessories, all she really comes with is some fist hands, which for her being Supergirl and punching and stuff, the fists would work out, so let's switch them. So there we have Supergirl ready for action now, and of course she comes with the base. And then we also have her card, same picture as before for her. It says real name is Kara Zor-El. Says as a child, Kara Zor-El witnessed the devastation of Krypton before she was sent to Earth on a mission to protect her infant cousin Kal-El. Arriving on Earth decades too late, she discovered that the grown-up Kal had been imprisoned. Still determined to protect her family and its legacy, Kara will fight her cousin's enemies as Supergirl. So I guess that probably means she's probably fighting against Batman and stuff. But pretty cool to have her. Like I said, definitely face-wise and the head I don't like as much, but the rest of the body is still perfectly fine. Fits for the females and stuff, and love the design. Fits good for her as that modern, more armored update for a Supergirl. So overall, I think she looks fine except the head. And our final figure is of Dr. Fate, which wears the Helm of Fate that allows him to see the fate of all of mankind, as well as the Cloak of Levitation, the Amulet of Anubis around his neck. And for powers, has a variety of mystical arts, has the power of flight, and near invulnerable. And overall, he looks cool, and this is pretty much a figure we've already had. I'll show you that comparison. I don't know if I reviewed that other figure now looking at it, but it's pretty much the exact same, just switched out the head and they changed some of the colors. But he looks pretty cool with a lot of the gold colors. So has the Helmet of Fate there, so it looks pretty decent. I don't like this design as much because you can see his eyes in there, so you can see the white eyes with the black around it, so that looks kind of weird. And then just with the design where it has this like piece on the front, it looks like it's a mouth that should like open and close and stuff, so it looks pretty weird. It then has the fin on top of his head, and you can see his ears and stuff of Dr. Kent Nelson, the guy underneath it. And then all gold once again with the cape, so the Cloak of Levitation, as I said, so nice design with the stitching in the center there and the texture running all through it, so pretty good. With the chest piece has the Amulet of Anubis in there, and then some gold up on the shoulders for armor, as well as the wrist guards there going into the hand that have the Egyptian eye on his hands there, which is cool. And again, gold going down the center till we get to the belt, which looks like it has an owl there, so that's pretty cool with the belt all the way around. And then down the legs we got some gold knee pads and gold there at the top of the boots that go down into black boots, and nice textures there on the legs. So I love like the padding design on the outside, some blue, and then switching to that black color, whatever, a real dark blue, whatever it is, in the center with the texture and stuff. So again, all sorts of different textures and everything going on in here, and like I said, the different like padding on the side with the blue going into the dark blue or black, and just pretty cool with that design overall. So the only thing I don't like about this is the head, but we can do the movements, so the head can twist all the way around, can look up just that far and down that far, so not the best movements for him, unfortunately. Shoulders can come, which just fell off there, so we'll have to glue that back on, unfortunately. And it can have the butterfly joint back and forth and rotate around. We get a bicep twist up in there, which is real tight up against the joint, and the double elbow joint that bends all the way up there, with the wrist that can twist all the way around and flex back and forth. Then we go to the ab crunch, so he can crunch back and forth again, an all solid piece, so it's really hard to determine what he's got in here. So crunch back and forth just a little and can twist around at the waist. Then we get the hips that come up to 90 and out to the side, can do the splits. Very little thigh twist on him, but a double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back. Oh, he can kick his butt, with the foot that can flex back and forth and twist side to side, and the toe joint on the end. So pretty good joints, no major issues. I think the only thing we had is this stupid shoulder pad that fell off that I have to glue on. But other than that, he's not bad. Like I said, I just wish the neck could look up a little bit more, because it always seems like with the helmet he's looking down too far, so trying to get it adjusted to look like he's looking straight on is kind of difficult. But overall, it doesn't look horrible. Like I said, just don't like the face design just because of this like mouse section design it's got on there, which is weird. But for accessories, doesn't come with anything. I wish we had some like magic effects or something, but we don't get anything. He does come with the base plate though. But then we also get the card with the same picture. And on the back, real name Kent Nelson, says powerful sorcerer Kent Nelson wears the helmet of fate and sees the fate of all mankind for better or worse. He knows the world we're in, either by Brainiac's hand or in a war between Batman Batman and Superman. Though the helm compels Kent to reserve this grim fate for the sake of order, Kent's humanity compels him to intervene on behalf of his heroic friends and risk the unforeseeable consequences. So there kind of tells you how his sort of role plays out there in the game. And as I mentioned, we have already had this figure, so here is the older Dr. Fate, which I like this helmet much more, so definitely prefer this Dr. Fate, and I love all the different colors. He has this like skirt piece and stuff added onto him, so otherwise it's pretty much the exact same figure, has all the same cutouts and designs and everything onto him, just a more colorful design. I love the brighter gold color, and it looks like his shoulder pads even have the Anubis logo on it there, so that's pretty cool. So overall, definitely like this older version more than this game version, but it's not horrible. It's just if you want this design to go with the rest of the Injustice characters. Well, there we have our Injustice 2 page punchers, where we got Batman, Green Arrow, Supergirl, and Dr. Fate, all from the Injustice 2 video game design. So all of them I think are pretty cool. Like I said, not necessary characters, they're just from the video game. So if you don't care much about video games, characters you can easily pass up on. But I think they're all pretty decent. Not the best figures ever. I definitely prefer more comic-based ones, but they're not absolutely horrible. So let me know what you thought of them down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this review, let me know with a thumbs up. I want to thank y'all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.